Okay, Hare Krishna. Greetings from Govardhan. Let's get to today's verse. Okay. It's hard to remember which verses. Okay. Reading from Bṛhad-bhāgavatāmṛta, Volume 2, Chapter 2, Text 136. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavantaṁ muhuḥ paśyan praṇamann avadaṁ nijepsitāntam adyāgā niścalaṁ tvaṁ mudaṁ bhaja. Gazing at the Supreme Lord and repeatedly bowing down before him, I told my mind, today you've obtained the ultimate fulfillment of your desires. Be steady and joyful. Purport. In text 136 through 140, while offering repeated obeisances, Gop Kumar preaches to his own mind. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksuran Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, let's see, we can put everybody on the same page. So we're following the journey of Gop Kumar. Okay, this is very nice. The lights went out at the right time. 1 second, I am prepared.
Yeah, can I help?
No, I'll do it.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Speaking of the valley. I think it's through the phone, the Wi-Fi maybe.
Just in case it's a little. I'll be right there with everybody there. The lights just went out.
Like back in the old days.
What?
I like this
Like
one.
old days.
I like this better than that light.
Okay.
This is nicer.
Okay, this is. Now the system in Vrindavan is when the lights go out and then you put on the candles. As soon as you put on the candles, the lights go back on. And then when you shut off the candles, well, anyway. So we had these two stories, Gop Kumar, Narada Muni, the first book, Gop Kumar, the second book. David, you make films, so you know there's a theme. Mm-hmm. And a theme means the point, the idea that connects everything else, even if they seem unrelated. Mm-hmm. And there may be so many different things that happen, but they have to be connected to the theme. Mm-hmm. So the theme of this book is Lord Chaitanya's explaining and inspiring us in Lord Chaitanya's mission. And it's done in 2 books, in 2 journeys. The first journey is Narada Muni. It's called Bhagavat Kripa Sar, looking for the devotee who's the topmost recipient of Krishna's mercy. The second book, The Journey of Gopkumar, is Gokula Mahatmyam, the glories of Gokula. What is the highest place? And we've discussed many, many times in elucidating this particular theme of this great intimate bhakti that Lord Chaitanya is giving to the world. You can understand this bhakti both through the people who have it in their heart and the place that facilitates that. And it's so good because when you want to present the point that people understand, it's great to present it from different angles. It's a way of sharpening. And even in the first book, you have Narada Muni seeing people at different levels of bhakti. They're all complete recipients of Krishna's mercy because they all feel, I want Krishna to such a degree that they feel they don't have it in their heart. It makes them humble. I want Krishna. That's bhakti. When that desire becomes very strong, I want Krishna. And then the second book, Gopkumar is at the place, and with his own, he already has that in his heart in a very simple way because he's from Vrindavan and he's been initiated by this Mahabhagavat. So he has this seed in his heart. So each place that he goes to, which facilitates a particular type of devotion for God, it's kind of like he tests it in terms of his mantra in his heart. Because he's a very innocent person, so he doesn't really understand it so well. But he wants to find, he's looking for the place where the object of his love is found. So in each place he goes, he becomes attracted to the place because it's God, but it's God not manifesting in terms of the relationship that he's seeking by what's in his heart. And we should have that to a little degree. And I know we're told to go on Sundays. We sometimes go to the South Indian temple, and it's about 20 minutes from his house, and it's actually a big temple. And in one big temple room, they have these different South Indian altars, so they're almost like little temples, and there's all forms of Krishna and demigods. And being in New Jersey, not that I have anything against New Jersey, but being in New Jersey, having that Indian, but somehow or other, even though I like it there, and it's Krishna, they have Guru Vayor and Venkateshwara and different forms of Krishna. It's not God manifest in the aspiration of my heart, which is much more intimate, which is God. When I say God is a cowherd boy, I describe that position covers personality, right? If someone is sitting so high, right, they can't be intimate with you, right? So I coined this phrase that Krishna is God, G-O-D, with his guard down. That's why he's a cowherd boy. He doesn't have position. In other words, there's freedom, and the love is more forceful in freedom. In Aishvarya, when God manifests his opulence, which is an incredibly beautiful thing. If you go to the Himalayas and you see the expanse of the Himalayas and how vast and how great God is, it's that happy, small feeling in our hearts that's so beautiful. But at the same time, when there is reverence, there is obligation, right? If it's superior, you must bow. And there's fear. You may make a mistake, but that's part of the love. I always describe, you have a very respectable father who's formal, and it is a little fear, but it should. That's a good father, right? You're a respectable father. And there's a little distance. So if you have that particular, what he has in his heart, it can never be. So it's another way, Goloka Mahatmyam, the glories of Goloka, the glories of the place, and his search for the place is showing the glory of that Braja Bhakti. Because he's seeking the highest thing. So in the story we have, he says he's going to different places, and he was at that Tapaloka, and they were trying to keep them there because they have that faith in God, and they're tapasvis, and their image of God is so eminent, so great, so grand. And that's their faith. And it's such a beautiful thing, because our satisfaction is energy between us and God. Love makes the world go round. And that love, and that's prema, that's energy between people, and ultimately the soul and God, that feeling that fills the heart, is what everybody's seeking. So people have different relationships, and they're completely satisfied. And it's so beautiful seeing those relationships. I'm telling people here, they also have an audience here, so I'm kind of talking to both people. Have you ever read the book Salted Bread?
No, I think.
You have to read that book.
Okay.
You have to read that book. It's about the Armenian Russian devotees that were in prison. It's an amazing. If you ever go in, you get that book. It's not, especially you, David, filmmaking. It's just this story is unbelievable, but it's about a friendship of two devotees, and the ending of it, it's a real story. The ending of it is just heartbreaking, but the love, friendship is so beautiful. So there's so many different relationships that are so beautiful. So they're presenting theirs, and they're telling Gop Kumar. And interesting about Gop Kumar is this book goes at so many levels, so it's also glorifying bhakti. Because although bhakti is dedication, it's not renunciation. One who becomes dedicated, in other words, our connection, like for example with mantra, it's not the intelligence. So in other words, the efficacy of a meditational process is the degree you're absorbed in the object of your meditation. It's the degree you're absorbed in the object of your meditation. And there's two ways you can connect to an object. Through understanding, I should focus on this. That's the jnanic process. And I'm attached to this. That's the bhakti process, ultimately. Your connection is your relationship with the object of your meditation. And ultimately, in a particular relationship, I'm chanting the name of my lover, my friend, my child, that type of sambandha. So Gop Kumar, who has that simple, he's not a big tapasvi, there's so many, but he has that simple type of faith and attraction and love. They recognize him as a great meditator, and he actually goes into various types of trances on Tapaloka. But in those type of trances, they're saying, "Oh, this is so good," but he's saying, "I'm forgetting myself." He doesn't want, he's kind of in such a trance, he's forgetting himself. So they're trying to keep him there. But then when Lord Brahma comes, and he sees that the topmost tapasvis, which are the 4 Kumaras, are worshiping Lord Brahma, then he wants to go see Lord Brahma with that same conception. My guru gave me this mantra, and he told me that this mantra, represents and leads you to God, but he doesn't really know exactly who God is. He's just attracted to his mantra. And so therefore he's always seeking that. And in each place, although on one level he's so satisfied because there's a manifestation with God, and he feels that this may be the fulfillment of his mantra, he's dissatisfied because it doesn't really kind of line up with his heart. So he goes to Satyaloka, and he just sees it's just so attractive. And in fact, he actually desires it because it's really an aspect of what he wants. And he sees Lakshmi is massaging the feet, and I'm not going to shut them off. I'm not shutting off my candles.
Maybe shutting off the light.
What?
Turning off the light. Because this is nice, but
I know, but you can see me more, and you can see my hands more.
that was perfect.
Perfect.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to shut the lights because it can go off again very soon. So he sees, because the ultimate reality is God and God's energies, and the exchange, which is called love. That's the ultimate reality. In fact, when Vyasadeva, when he was chastised by Narada that you wrote all the Vedic literatures and you're not completely satisfied, and he couldn't understand it. What did I do wrong? Because you imagine his service. He edited all the Vedas by the Mahabharata, the Vedanta Sutra, trying to explain it to people, because the Vedas is so vast, and it's the beginning of Kali Yuga. How will people understand it? So he breaks it into 4. I describe it as like a mother, a little baby. Now the child is beginning to eat, so she takes the chapati and she breaks it into little pieces so he can digest it. So Vyasadeva was thinking the Vedas are so vast and so confusing, and I break it into 4, and he's, people not getting it. Then he says, I'll illustrate it in story form. He writes the Mahabharata. He says, I don't know. And then he says, okay, I'll codify it in sutras. And he's not satisfied. And when you're not satisfied, it indicates there's something wrong. Dissatisfaction is the gift of God to let us know that something is wrong. And it's not that the dissatisfaction is the cause of unhappiness. There is some problem already that manifests in a way that lets us know that where we're at is not where we should be. So he goes into his heart and he can't understand it. But this is such an example of spiritual life. When you go into your heart and really are sincere, what's wrong? I don't have the knowledge and understanding to solve my problems. And that's the first form of humility in the soul. Then God appears externally. So Narada Muni appears, or Guru appears, and tells him you haven't sufficiently glorified Krishna. So that's what you have to do. He says, well, how am I going to do this? Right? I have to present the philosophy and I have to present Krishna, but people in this world, they've come to forget God, and therefore sometimes if you want them to transcend matter, let them transcend something impersonal so their ego won't be threatened. We have to get them out of the material consciousness. So generally it's easier to present God as amorphous because it doesn't threaten our ego. So if I present here is the absolute truth. It's a person and it's better than you and it's supreme. I have to do this in a way that I don't turn these people. How am I going to do this and how I will present this? So he bhakti yogena manasi samyak pranayate mala pashat purusham purnam mayacha. So he went into this meditation and he saw God. The absolute reality is God and God's energies. And the energies are under God. And ultimately he saw the internal potency, and God is exchanging love. That's the ultimate principle. There's God and God's energies, and energy comes from an energetic source to please the source. And that pleasure is love. This is the ultimate reality. It's not just explaining logically, this is the ultimate reality. This is the ultimate reality. The ultimate reality is love. And I'll say in a real, sentimental hippie way here. The ultimate reality is love. It's the exchange of love. And that's how the universe is constructed. And that's what the Bhagavatam is. So when he comes, and he comes to Satyaloka, when he sees, because what they said in Satyaloka, that really what attracted him, Brahma is so great, but on his planet there's an enclave where God is living. Mahapurush, the greatest person. I think it's Karnadaksha or Gavardasha Viksha is residing on that planet. And when he comes, he sees it. And he sees Lakshmi massaging the feet, sees Narada Muni on the Veena singing and dancing, and he sees all these different, and he sees Brahma and God acknowledging Brahma, and he sees all these loving exchanges. And when he sees that energy flowing between God and his associates, he just becomes overwhelmed with ecstasy. And he faints. And the goddess Lakshmi takes up Gopkumar and starts stroking his head, because he's a cowherd boy. And there's nothing more attractive than a cowherd boy. Especially, Krishna, but even, the cowherd boys, that simple Bṛhad bhakti love, that energy. He's so, and so after this whole experience, and he kind of wakes up in Lakshmi's arm, he looks at the Supreme Lord, who's the abode of love, and he says, Antam Adya, today, the ultimate fulfillment of Nijepsitāntam, the ultimate fulfillment of all desires, I found. And he's telling his mind, okay, be steady and please experience this joy and be steady. You've made it. You've made it. So, and what'll happen is the same theme will always be there. You made it, but you didn't make it. Because ultimately it won't satisfy it. And I've given many, because what happens is there's something about his relationship with the mantra, which is God. What his mantra means God in the sound. So when you realize that, you're feeling that energy between you and God. And it takes you from another platform of just syllables to an eternal reality. We're reading another class we do. Another class we do on the CC, and it's Lord Chaitanya's appreciation of prasadam. And he gets the prasadam and he gives it to his associates, and he says, and the aroma, the taste, the fragrance, we've never experienced something like this before. But it's not just sense gratification. I'm writing about this and I'm thinking about it. It's not just sense gratification. It's more, the sense experience is more. But what happens is, on a spiritual platform, I'm trying to figure this out. Yeah, listen carefully. This is really interesting. On the spiritual platform, the sense experience comes with spiritual senses. So it's more enjoyment, but the enjoyment represents love and not selfishness. And it's more enjoyment, but it's not more selfishness. And you can look at it like this. Enjoyment can be, wow, that's so beautiful. That's so fragrant. Let me serve. I give you an example. If a grandmother sees a beautiful child, their grandchild, right? Then her experience of the child, the beauty of the child, the cuteness of the child, it's love. The experience is love. It's not selfishness. And it's more beauty than she's ever experienced before. Right? And that's one thing. And the other thing of a sensual experience that's from spirit, this is a mundane example, but spiritual experience would be having the experience, but enjoying it because your beloved enjoyed it. So the same thing is an example of the grandmother. She cooks for the children, and the children come and they eat the feast and they enjoy it, and then she'll taste it, and it may be so sweet and so perfect and so soft and so this, but what she's thinking of, how my grandchildren enjoyed. So it's a different type of, and therefore we'll see in each of these abodes that are getting higher spiritually, there's a higher level of material enjoyment, millions and millions of times more, because the enjoyment is done from another platform. And you can't distinguish the two. You can't distinguish I'm enjoying through spiritual senses. It's the same sensual experience. So you'll feel this is the tastiest, this is the most beautiful, in the spiritual world, what happens when they see Krishna's beauty? What is that like? It's a sensual experience. It's through the senses. Wow, his beauty, his fragrance. When it describes Radharani's fragrance, if she's hiding from Krishna, she'll hide in a forest of magnolia trees called Stala Kamala, land lotuses. I think it's magnolia. You know the flower magnolia? Oh, of course. in the forest of magnolia, and Krishna will smell. So what is that fragrance? And even it's described in the spiritual world, when a devotee arrives in the spiritual world, the Madhurya Kadambini, sees Krishna, and all their eyes, all their senses become eyes. How does all your senses become eyes? If someone says Prabhupada, so you're seeing through the ears, and then the soul faints. And then Krishna says, my dear Shri Rup. And then he wakes up and all his senses become hearing, right? All the senses become hearing. I gave the example of Prabhupada. You see Prabhupada, and it goes through all the senses until he wakes up in the spiritual world, and through all the senses, sees, touch, smells, tastes, and feels Krishna. Overwhelming experience. It's not that it's not sensual in that sense, but it's spiritually sensual, because each experience, I'm writing my Monday morning greetings now, so I'm working. Each experience is connected with the pleasure of the person, the service of the person that you're in love with. So anyway, he sees this, Gop Kumar, and it's overwhelming, seeing this exchange of love and the beauty of God. It's overwhelming. And then he's saying his mind, asesha, all, shoka, sorrow, santrasa, fear, dukkha, pain, hina, there's none here. This abode there is worshipped in the whole world, and it's filled with the greatest opulence and the greatest bliss, and they're connected. It's just like if you go to the Krishna Balaram Mandir on one of these festival days, you ever see when they spend $6,000 on flowers? And they have the courtyard filled with water, and there's a way with strings where you can make a design in the water, and the flowers is so much. It's a devotional experience through the senses, because you're thinking how much love there is. How much love there is. So it's not, it's another type of experience. So it's filled with the greatest opulence and bliss. Purport, Satyaloka is the highest material abode, filled with inconceivable wealth and an happiness unequaled by any other sensuous experience in this universe. Greater than any other place, Satyaloka is honored. This is the topmost planet. And he's talking to his mind, dear brother, this planet shines forth with as much perfection as the Lord of Universe himself. It displays the final limit of complete opulence. Mahat is great. Mahataya is the greatest of the great. Excellent. Param, extreme. Kastam, limit. Sputam, you can see the ultimate absolute limit of opulence. He's talking to his mind. And then he says, you have felt the affection of Lakshmi. Now see with your eyes her Lord. Give up all thoughts of going away from here and give up your grieving over the cow pastures of Bṛhad and Mathura. Mind, give it up. You just keep on thinking about this simple place with these cows and this simple place of flowers and birds and cows. Give it up. You've got it here. And there's so much love here. And God is so beautiful here. Give it up. Mathura Vraja Bhu Shokam. Give up this sadness over Mathura Vraja Bhu, the place of Vraja. Give it up. And this idea of anyata, going another place. Give it up. Give up this thing here. If you want to be pampered like the Lord of the universe, that also you can achieve by the power of mantra taught to you by the great soul. So lalanam, like lal, like a little child. Lalanam means to be treated like a child. Like Brahma, everybody is worshiping Brahma. And if you want to be like that in this type of universe, you can achieve it by that mantra. Because the mantra, the Gopal mantra, which is one of the Diksha mantras that is given, it can fulfill all desires. Karma sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta parashampra. Akama sarva karma, no desires, all desires, moksha kama, liberation. Akama sarva karma, moksha karma, tivrena bhakti. Tivrena is like a sun rays condensed, bhakti that's condensed like that. When you have bhakti that's condensed like that, you focus on your mantra, you can go wherever you want. So, the purport, the personality of God, it is present in Brahmaloka as Lord Mahapurush. But in Govardhan, Gopkumar had met another Mahapurush, the great devotee who initiated him to the chanting of the Gopal mantra. For Gopkumar to be familiar as Brahma with Lord Mahapurush will be difficult, but we'll see how an arrangement is made for him. So what happens too in this Gopkumar, he's going to different places in the universe and experiencing it. But when you're going to find out, that's one way to do it. You can go to higher and higher planets and have higher and higher experiences, and then somehow transcend them and keep on going to higher and higher places and becoming more and more detached and experiencing everything. And then there's another way. Just come to Vrindavan and surrender to Krishna. Because what's going to happen is Gopkumar, he's going to do that, and he's going to pass all the planets and he's going to wave to everyone because he doesn't have to do this anymore. The Supreme Lord turned to his pastime of sleep, and Brahma, sitting on the universal lotus born from the Lord's navel, realized that he had to recreate the universe, and so he came outside to do work. So Kritya means his duties, abhave bahi. So he had to go outside. So it says the transcendental Lord never sleeps, but he enjoys his pastime pretending to sleep. I enjoy sleep. Not so much, but I enjoy it. The worst thing is if you can't enjoy sleep. That's such a difficult thing for people. I joke, I can go to sleep in Delhi and wake up in New York. What?
Me too.
Yeah, we share that boat of ignorance together. Brahma's seat is the lotus that grows from the navel of Garbhodakshai Vishnu and bears the original subtle forms of the 14 creative worlds. So he had work to do, and this is why Brahma he's even with Narada Muni, so what a person. He's the dispenser of karma. See, he has to create the universe, and the universe moves simultaneously to give everyone their karma. So when people get together, one person's karma is the other person's karma, is the other person's karma. It's the most incredible engineering feat in the world. And the whole thing is within the stem of the lotus that's coming from the navel of Vishnu. So he goes, okay, now he has to see the entire plan for the creative universe, and wasting time, he studied and then came out to discharge his responsibility. And he got down from the lotus, and he left this enclave where Garbhodakshai Vishnu. I mean, look, we say, Bṛhad Bhakti. Imagine if he met Vishnu. Wow. With the jewels and the helmets and all the people and the bhakti, and that energy is pretty intense. So, and now he went on his own. And he said, paśyan prabho rupam adyo mahabhutam, seeing the Lord, that wonderful form of the Lord, and then observing the universe within his navel, and witnessing the waves of love flowing over Brahman, as he heard confidential instructions from the Lord. So that was one of the things he saw, that the Lord, knowing that Brahma was the most important devotee to do the work of this universe, was instructing him in bhakti. And he wouldn't go on to another subject until he completed that one. And there was so much love between the teacher and the student. It's God and his student. And he was observing this upadesh, Gudha Upadesh, the confidential instructions. That's even better, right? Its instructions are not for everyone, but the secret. When the guru gives the secret in the heart, the confidential instructions, and witnessing that, and the prema pravaham, the flood of the waves of love flowing over, witnessing the waves of love flowing over Brahma, as he heard the confidential instructions from the Lord. He was just like, wow, this was so good. This is the topmost planet. And then what happened is the night came. And what happened when the night came? The three worlds are destroyed and the universe becomes a single ocean. And the personality of Godhead sits on Seshanaga together with Brahma. So this happens every Brahma's day, which is 1,000 times 4,320,000 years. It happens at the universe, after the universe. And then what happens is the residents on these Tapaloka, Janaloka, and Mahaloka, they come up there, and then they start praising the Supreme Lord with choice poetry and different words. This whole scene with Stuyate, Chitra Vakya. Chitra means choice, beautiful, Vakya words. Janalokadi Vasavi, from all these residents. And I was able to see them. And previously I wasn't, because all the other planets I got swept away in that universal devastation, except time I was able to get there on Janalok for a while, which I didn't like so much, but at least it wasn't the universal destruction. And it wasn't as pleasant as here. So the universal destruction is there, But Vishnu is laying on Seshanoga and all the sages are chanting, and it's this bhava. Bhava makes things not boring. Even the simplest things, if there's a feeling of love, love is the only feeling that you never get bored of. Because every other activity, susukam kartam abhyam, it's joyfully performed, bhakti is joyfully performed, because every other activity, the pleasure is not the activity, but the goal. Like in Jnana Yoga, it's the paśyan, but that's not the fun. The fun is moksha, the goal. Or karma yoga, it's not the boring sacrifices, it's the fruits. But bhakti, if there's a fruit, it's not bhakti. If I'm doing this for this reason, love, you're not doing it for fruit. So it's joyfully performed. And it's another reality. It becomes the spiritual reality, which is beyond time, beyond space. It's a pleasurable thing. You live in it. And this is what our practices of bhakti should come to a certain degree. That when we're chanting, it's beyond time. It's another reality. And so he's watching all this, but when the Lord would sometimes went elsewhere, he would disappear and he'd become unhappy. So again, look at Gop Kumar's attachment. He doesn't have such a discriminate. He didn't even know who Lord Brahma was. They were laughing at him. Lord Brahma is the most prominent person in the universe, and he comes, right? And he's saying, who is this? And they're laughing at him. He doesn't even know who Lord Brahma is, right? He doesn't even know who Lord Brahma is. I mean, it's not a good example, right? But you imagine if Trump came to Govardhan, and then I'm so impressed that Christina says, "Who is this?" I'd be like, "Wow!" I'd be like, I don't know if I think that. Where is she living? Who is this person? But that's okay. That would be good. But if it was like a spiritual personality that came, Lord Brahma, who he didn't even know. But he's so simple. He was so attached. Spirituality, God, connection, feeling with that. I feel the energy of God. I just want to stay in that energy. And then when you disappear, you feel unhappy. But that painful feeling would be cut samula shiate. It would be cut at the root as soon as he returned. Purport, unaware of where the Lord was going, Gop Kumar was distressed by his absence. But that shows you how much pleasure there is in connection with God, that the separation can't be tolerated. But when the Lord would return after a short while, Gop Kumar would forget his distress and even forgot the Lord had left him. Thus his feelings of happiness were of little account. The one small reason for unhappiness that sometimes arose was short-lived, so it did not affect his overall mood. So he's very, very happy here. And then, it happens to Gop Kumar, because he's so faithful to this mantra, any little desire that comes into his heart becomes fulfilled. So what happens? He's enjoying and he's spending there. And then at curiosity, a mass of foam came and Brahma touched it and it turned into a demon. Because it was kind of like in the creation, it was like the impurities of the creation. And Gop Kumar was harboring the desire to become Brahma so he could enjoy Brahma's special relationship with the Lord of the universe. This is how we advance. Prabhupada said we advance by appreciation. This is how one gets his relationship with Krishna. You hear the Bhagavatāmṛta, you hear about Krishna, and you say, oh, I would love to serve as these people are serving. I would love to serve as these people are serving. That's how, and especially when you're chanting, the name comes to form, comes the qualities, then the lila, and in the lila there are people relating with God, and when one's chanting in that way, he really becomes, oh, I'd like to relate in this way. So this is what happened to Gop Kumar. He said, oh my God, I'd like to relate like Lord Brahma's relating to God, getting all that affection, and that's so beautiful. And he thought of this desire while chanting his japa, and then in a few days he gets what he wants. Because when this foam was left from the ocean of devastation and Brahma touched it, and he didn't realize what happened, the foam turned into a terrible demon, strong and huge and born from the vast water of devastation. And Brahma became terrified and he left. And then Vishnu killed the demon, but Brahma had such a traumatic experience that he did not come back. And Gopkumar said, and the Lord made me Lord Brahma. And now, we're kind of almost finished for today, but what happened is when he made him Lord Brahma, you also saw Gopkumar. So what was he going to do managing the universe? He wanted to make people happy. What's his happiness? It's bhakti. So he sent Vaishnavas all over the universe to increase devotional service, and he only engaged Vaishnavas in everything. So you see that, again, the spirit in the heart manifests externally. That's what kirtan is. When the bhav in the heart is expressed by the discipline of music. So strong devotion creates your environment. That's why if you go into Prabhupada's room, it's so intensely connected with his mission, his service, his love of Krishna. That's what happens. So it's very powerful. And he arranged and he flooded the universe with joy, and he was doing all this. And then he said, even though I was surrounded by such opulence, I didn't give up my simplicity. Mention Radhanath Swami, because he's going to be here. So, like the fourth richest man in the world is called Mukesh Ambani. His house has 600 people maintaining it. And it's in the middle of Bombay. It's this huge house. I think they even have one floor that's all snow or something. It's ridiculous. So he had, what?
The skyscraper.
Yeah, so he had this thing, and they invited, Radhanath Swami there. And, the Kadarshans and Hillary Clinton and all these big people and, Zuckerberg, they're all coming. But when Radhanath Swami comes in, like Mukesh Ambani goes to greet him. Kaustubh was telling me this. So at a particular time at the ceremony, that they did something where they bring honored guests up in pair and they shower them with flowers, and they come from different directions. So they invited Radhanath Swami up at the same time as Hillary Clinton. And they showered them with flowers. And then he went down, he talked, Hillary is from Chicago, so he was from Chicago or something. And then he sat taking, the prasad, and across was Hillary and, what's her name? The chief minister of Bengal is a lady. And they were like talking like girls, like they, like he was like a star or something. So he goes with billionaires. I once went to Mumbai, and I got some operation there, and then he called me and we went to this program, and it's like middle of Mumbai, the doors open, it's like you got to drive like 10 minutes to get to the house. It's like, and the people are sitting on the floor. It's like, the richest family in the world, and taking. But in the Chupati, he lives in the brahmachari ashram, and he sleeps on the floor. He has one room. He sleeps on the floor. So that's Braja Bhakti. The attraction and the beauty is simplicity, and the simplicity, it's madhurya. The opulence is the sweetness, not and it is opulent, but it's overshadowed by the sweetness, and the sweetness is intimate relationships is so much more beautiful than anything else, and it's shared with simple beauty, with flowers and these type of things. So he didn't give up, Gop Kumar, and then he became disturbed because so many duties, so much management, and then he became afraid because he thought, I'm going to die, and where's his Braja Bhakti? And then he chanted his mantra and remembered Vrajabhumi. It gave him more distress. And that's the next class. Okay, I know that already Jamunajaya went to her class. So, Gail?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
I'm assuming Jamunajaya had to leave. Yeah.
Yeah,
Gail,
she did.
question?
Yeah, so, I know this was a rhetorical question,
Okay.
but you said, what's more attractive than a cowherd boy? So that made me want to ask, well, what do they have that the gopis don't have?
A cowherd boy or a cowherd girl, right? I'm still in the patriarchal society where we use the male pronouns.
Yeah, me too. I'm in that. I use the male pronouns too. So okay, I get it.
Okay, but that's it. What I'm saying is, I'm not just. It's cowherd boys and cowherd girls. What's more attractive than the simplicity? Okay.
The simplicity. But
Okay.
I do want to say that I really appreciate when you said that dissatisfaction is a gift. Because it's much like pain, right? It tells you when something is wrong.
Right. Well, right.
And it gives you the opportunity to get it right.
Right. And it's not like the dissatisfaction is taking you from happiness to misery. It's misery and sometimes intensifying the misery to get rid of the misery.
Yeah.
Like you have a boil. It's not that you're not in pain, so maybe you have to squeeze it. So it's like that. I tell those examples many times. Okay, Gail, thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else like to say hello today?
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. This is Yavat Sundari. Thank you very much for the class.
Okay. Thank you for being on the class.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Haribo. Lal and Braja, you don't say hello. What's going on here?
We're waiting our turn. Hare Krishna,
Just
Maharaj.
waiting your turn, huh? Well, no one else. Tot is sitting here in absolute ecstasy.
Oh, wow. So jealous. Haribo.
And he got a room in the Govardhan Hilton.
Wow. Nice.
Very nice.
I have to put up Dan Murphy's sign. That'll be one of your jobs.
Okay.
His sign. Okay.
Great.
Okay.
See you soon.
Anyone else say hello before we go?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Namaste is here.
Okay, very nice.
Thank you for the class. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Sri Radhika here.
Thanks for the class.
Radhika. Wow. Less than a month to the big day, huh?
Yes.
Where is the wedding going to be?
Lacha Temple.
In the temple, huh?
Yes, yes.
Wow. On
Yeah.
what day of the week?
16th of November,
What day of that is that?
Sunday.
A Sunday. So be in the morning before the Sunday feast and that type of thing?
Yes, it's 9 o'clock in the morning till noon, and then
Does
prasadam.
your husband
Yeah.
have a lot of friends coming?
Yeah. He was thinking that it's 200, but now it's getting up to 300 people.
Okay. All right. And you have good cooks?
Yes, we have. Yeah, it's actually Gopal Prabhu who was
Okay.
cooking for many years.
And which women are helping you?
Some of the Krishna house girls will help me, and then yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. And you're setting up the right infallible media so that your mother can be right there, see everything?
Yes. We have found a
neglect-
person who will take
Don't-
charge of all that.
Don't neglect that.
Yes.
It's most important. Okay.
Yes.
My mother can't come because she's in America. She's from Iran. And her mother is in Tehran. So she was able to get in the country before the ban, about a week before the ban. My friend, who's an immigration lawyer, did an amazing job and got her in the country because she was seeing someone. But her mother can't come, so she better have the best. And whatever I say, she'll do.
Yes,
Okay.
right.
Okay.
And Maharaj, Mother Rukmini will give me away because Mother Rukmini puts me and Shruti in touch first place. So
Mother Rukmini did what?
put us in touch at the first place. So put us together. So
Your mother asked Mother Rukmini if there's anybody for her daughter, right?
Yes, exactly. And then that's why she will give me away in the ceremony. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Sundar, Ishwari Sundari said she's going to come, I think.
Yes. I'm so happy that I have a god sister there coming.
Yeah, she just put, she put a big heart there. So she'll come and represent.
Yeah, I will be so happy. Yeah.
Okay, she's an important person to come. Okay, anybody else?
Thank you, Mark.
Okay. I'm just
Krishna
looking.
Maharaj, this is Krishna-katha. Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for the class. Thank you.
Great. Okay, I'm looking at the list of people here, so I see who's. Okay, Dan Murphy's there. We got your Govardhan Hilton sign. It's on the. Bring it here. Go bring the sign here. What? What's that?
There's a sign?
For my birthday, someone got there. Okay. I'm seeing everybody that's there. We'll show you the sign.
Whoa.
So we got to go. Okay. Vanshikopa to Yashaka.